We got a what up, y'all? We are said moderator. Okay, turned on subscriber only. That's what's up. I figured let me get some workout. I'm at the gym. Um, and I said, yeah, let me get a little bit of a workout on. What's up, y'all? Set in the West Coast in the building. What's up, y'all? I see Nick's Mountain Ghost is in the building. What's up? Myrna, what's up? Appreciate you. Makia, what's up? Um, it's the first of the month, so get your cardio up. Yeah, I said let me just do something today. I figured let me go ahead and start because this month I got a whole lot of things ready. What's up, ACG? What's up, Jackie? What's up, Patricia Blair? Yeah, we got a few things we are gonna push out this month. So just getting everything started. And it's Labor Day. What's up, Nancy? Piana, what's up, y'all? It's Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Labor Day is pretty much over. So for the most part, they say Labor Day is the what unofficial end of summer. And for Nick down under, I guess it's the beginning of what? What season is it for y'all? I think it would be considered the end of winter. Is that what it is? What's up, Cat? Cat's always in the building. Yeah, okay, it's officially spring. That's what it is. My bad. So it's reversed. So when we're going to our fall, you guys are going into y'all spring. For those who don't know, down under, that's what it is. Yeah, man, it's basically the beginning, the new beginning for I would say a new season. I hope everyone had like a productive summer. This summer's been kind of rough, at least for me. But moving forward, it's about to just yeah, we about to get it. We about to get it. We about to get it. Say Snoop Dogg shaking it up down under. Well, I'm gonna talk about Snoop in a second because um, to me, Snoop, number one, let's just talk about it real quick. Um, Snoop, and shout out to Snoop Dogg. No shade or nothing, but I'm gonna just say something that's real. Look, um, Snoop is very polarizing nowadays, I would say, and I'm gonna say something real. Just because Snoop is he's an OG, he's a OG, he's a black man. I respect him. He did some things in the past that I was like, yo, what's up, dog? What's going on? And primarily, it's just the situation that happened with the two women he had on a red carpet. What's up, Jamie? Is that he had on a red carpet with a chain? Crazy. Like I don't know. I don't know. Um, but saying that Snoop is almost like a chameleon. Snoop will do Rasta, then he do gospel, then he. I mean, and I'm not mad at him. He's basically a household name. So that's why I'm saying what I'm going to say about right now because it's very interesting how um, what has recently transpired about Snoop. You know what I'm saying? So and again, no disrespect. This is just like yo, where I'm coming from, what I got to say. So Snoop had been like I guess he sparked controversy. That's what they said. He had sparked some controversy during a recent podcast where he said he felt scared to go to the movies after watching the Pixar movie Lightyear with his grandson. So he had his grandson had asked him how did one of the characters have a baby with a woman? Um, and Snoop said it caught him off guard, and he basically, I think there was two moms in that film. I haven't seen the film, and I mean, very interesting. I got a little one who will still go see, will go see movies like that, and I got two older ones. I didn't have to deal with that. I don't think I even had to deal with like seeing same-sex couples in cartoons. I didn't have to. I think the last film that I saw with them that I took them to was like Soul, and that was pretty good. That was pretty, and actually we saw it before it even was finished. So we saw that movie Soul. So that was kind of more or less like a little esoteric, but it didn't really have too much about same-sex couples or families or nothing like that. But Snoop is basically getting a bunch of backlash for saying that he didn't know how to act or he didn't know what to say to his grandson about the two women having a baby. His grandson asked how she have a baby with a woman, and I guess people perceive that to be homophobic. Let me see. Let me read the chat. That infamous line when pimps in the crib. At the, yeah, Snoop is, like I said, Snoop is very polarizing, but he's becoming like, I don't know. I think they're setting him up almost to a degree. Um, Now I get it. I ain't gonna. I think Snoop represents something. He represents number one West Coast. It's like one of the greatest um, rappers on the West out here. So not like greatest like that. Like I said, y'all saw Mike and I. Even shoot, Mike and I wrote some stuff for Snoop. I don't think people know that, but I'm saying like as far as like his global reach. You see Nick Mountain Goat. She will say, "What's up, Yvonne? What's up?" Yeah, I see you. I see you. Appreciate you, Yvonne. Snoop is known globally, so Snoop can go anywhere, and it's like, boom, that's Snoop. So, like I said, nothing taken away from him, but I'm just talking about the backlash that's happening with Snoop. They're saying that his comments are outdated. So during the Breakfast Club interview, not he, so someone on the Breakfast Club discussed the situation, and they were just saying that understanding about the generalizations of or generational divide, I would say that Snoop not the best messenger. No, not at all. But they were just saying about the generational divide when discussing the LGBT things with children. Snoop issued a public apology posting on his Instagram that he was caught off guard, lacked the right words, and he expressed willingness to learn. That's what he wrote. He said, "My bad, I'm not perfect," and noted support for his gay friends. What's up, Poppin in the building? Yeah, yeah, it's a setup. Why him? Why now? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. My little kid is like, I don't, I'm not, I'm just gonna shelter mine away from certain conversations. Certain kids just don't, certain stuff don't need to be introduced to kids. I'll say it like that. I will not condone. So basically, the LGBT situation, that's a lifestyle, right? And it's honestly something that's like if I don't like you obviously can tell that I'm melanated or labeled black. So I'm black. You can see that I'm black, but I couldn't see if someone's LGBT. You get what I'm saying? Unless it's the obvious, like if you wear a crown on your head, you got receding gnat balls, like his content creator online right now talking all kind of craziness. Um, or if you like a power top like AT2 or something, like that's obvious. You obviously know these guys are LGBT, but for the most part, you don't know if someone is LGBT. So I would introduce certain things or whatever to my child, especially young kids. I think young kids just need to be kids and learn. and just enjoy life because when you get older, it's a lot more problems when you're older. So, you know, I wouldn't confuse them. I wouldn't introduce them to certain stuff. So for instance, like this, like I wouldn't say, here's what I wouldn't do. And I know some people who are what would you say, like swingers, right? If you got a couple who's a swinger, right? They're swingers. Um, and they were like in a what's up, Barbara J? If they had that lifestyle out front in a cartoon, a kid's cartoon, would you guys think that would be inappropriate, or would you guys, sit there and explain to your 5 year old, well, this couple, they're swingers, and what's a swinger? The only swing there should be really concerned with is the one at the playground. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at Snoop saying what he said, and some people are like, it's a generational thing. Yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Let's just keep it plain and simple. This whole stuff that goes on with you got to explain and do this or whatever, LGBT, all that, you ain't got to. In all honesty, I just say, don't treat people all effed up. You know what I'm saying? I say that, don't be mean to people. Don't be discriminatory. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? But explaining certain people's lifestyles. I mean, if y'all feel me, you know what I'm saying? You say you're LGBT. I'm going to explain how it is. Odell. Look, Nick, check this out. You're LGBT. That's cool, but I'm gonna tell you what. So my kid, if asked about different lifestyles or whatever, I think that's a conversation that you would have with them when they're a little older. Not 5 year olds. Not going to go see a Pixar movie. You get what I'm saying? So all I'm basically saying, it's like this. I'll say it like this too. When my kids were coming up, they were like 5 and 4. And I mentioned the word PDF. I'm not going to say the word, but I mentioned that word to them. And they were like, Dad, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, you guys got to understand what these types of individuals are because let's keep it a buck. You got PDFers who prey on little kids. So I had to let them know the dangers, just like the dangers of going to that park and going across the street and getting hit by a car. Now I'm not saying that that's the same. It's in the same realm. It's not the same thing, but certain information for certain times. I'll say it like that, Nick. So no, PDFs are not exactly. PDFs are not part of the LGBT. We know that, and what I'm saying is, I explained to that. I explained PDFers to them early in life, so that they're not preyed upon. So when they're older and they choose whatever they want to be, they can be whatever they want to be as far as lifestyle go. But I'll say it like this again, Nick. I didn't even know you were LGBT. I would never even known that. I could have said, "Oh, okay, well, you know," and thought, but no, I didn't know that until you told me. You get what I'm saying? You think children don't need to think that when they're unhappy that they have to transfer their SCX before? Yep, that's real. So Nick, no, I mentioned PDF because don't get what's the word? Don't get offended because all I'm saying is certain conversations for certain times. So the LGBT thing is something different. I was mentioning PDFers and them preying on little kids and me explaining it to when my kids were like 4 and 5 because they were old enough to understand. And I told them what it was, and they sat and they kind of were like not joking, but they were like, oh, "Okay, we understand why you said that." And my kids were smart. Both my kids are smart. All three of them are smart. But what I'm saying is, I let them know at the time. So when it comes to what's the situation with Snoop, when everybody is going in on him about him saying he was perplexed or he didn't understand, he was taken aback, and he had to apologize. My thing is this: black men in this country, we shouldn't have to apologize for every freaking thing. He apologized for calling Gayle King a dog head, a funky dog head B word. So he could apologize for that. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? He was emotional and he was irate when he was talking about Snoop was talking about the situation about them disrespecting Kobe's legacy. And he was friends with Kobe. So guess what? I ain't mad at him for I ain't mad at him for saying what he said about Gail, but he was out of pocket. And if he apologized for that, he apologized. You get what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, long story short, Snoop has been just basically they're just beating him to and he said he support his gay friends. I got gay friends, I support them too. You get what I'm saying? So Lightyear, that let's go back to that. Lightyear, which is a kids film, it came out some time ago. The feature film, it had a same-sex couple. They had a brief kiss. It was banned in 14 countries, and then it was reinstated by Disney, and they faced internal and external pressure over its LGBT representation. So that's the background. Snoop said it didn't come. He didn't come in here for this shit. That's basically what he said. He came to watch a goddamn movie. Um, so does this open up? This situation opens up the dialogue about how parents talk about kids about LGBT things. What's up, Nazi Star? Um, Yeah, Snoop is the fall guy. I'll say that. Yeah, Tiana, thank you. I'm not making the same topic of conversation. Listen to where I'm coming from. I made an example, and this is why I made the example because how do you open up the dialogue to how parents open up the dialogue to talk to kids about the LGBT things? The way I opened up the dialogue to talk about my kids about PDFers, and that ain't got nothing to do with the LGBT, is to let them know that people prey on y'all. So the reason why I go to the bathroom and I'll stand out with my daughter, I didn't go in the bathroom with my daughter, but I'll stand out just to make sure, or I'll look in there, make sure, I got to protect my kids. You get what I'm saying? So the same thing, you got to open up dialogues and uh, protect them and let them understand, other people's lifestyles. So again, Nick, you got all up in arms about that, and I even said something about the swingers. Hold on, Nick. Hold on, real quick, Nick. Um, I mentioned swingers, right? What do you have to say about swingers? Like, let's just say what I'm talking about is a lifestyle. LGBT is a lifestyle. Nick, what about swingers? How do you open up a conversation to talk to your kids about that type of lifestyle? Yeah, yeah, okay, so you're not one, right? So what I'm saying, all I said was the situation was how do you bring up certain topics, conversations to your kids? Kids that are, they're gonna figure it out anyway. Like I would say our generation was maybe a little bit I wouldn't even say slower. I wouldn't say slow because we was up on a lot of stuff. But everything now is quick, it's quick, it's quick. Like I didn't know anything about gay people until maybe like the third grade or something or second grade, right? And that's because they picked on this one kid who was like very, very effeminate. He was a little black kid and he was very effeminate, and they picked on him, and I thought that was wrong. And I'm like, why are they picking on him? So we could talk about backlash. Critics are calling his remarks homophobic. Supporters agree that the moments can be teaching opportunities. That's what I'll say, and it's not to be immediately condemned. So just like what I'm saying right now about talking to my kids at an early age about predators, What's the teachable moment here? And you shouldn't condone me for saying what I said because I'm not, you know. So you say fetishes are something that people are supposed to reveal outside the consenting bedroom. Yeah. See, this is I appreciate y'all. This is a good conversation. It's going to be a hot topic because it came out as a public figure. Uh, his mouth. I'm LGBT as well. It's a hard one. Yeah. Pete Efforts are called Stranger Danger when I was little. You know what? They didn't even teach us about freaking PDFers when I was little, and thank God, you know, we didn't really get, you know, we just, you know, we kind of like I didn't really like um, deal with adults like that. I'll just say it like that. You know what I'm saying? And what's up, my eye? Appreciate you. What's up, everybody? Yeah, Cat, appreciate that. Yeah, this is my free speech. Speaking of LGBT, you're gonna be mad at me. What's
Why?
up, Jack?
What happened? Who
I'm
did
getting in
that?
shape. I'm getting in shape for the Jaguar Wright sector. I'm getting ready. I'm getting in shape for the Jaguar Wright sector. Remember that
Oh
group?
my God.
Um, Jack, can you real quick? Because you know the YouTube streets are talking about your eye all of a sudden,
What?
like something's wrong with you.
What? What's wrong? What happened?
Nothing's wrong with you. Some weirdo took a screenshot of you and they had your eye. I guess you did a live yesterday, and you were looking to the side, and well, your eye, the one where you know, the irritation,
Yeah.
and they're saying it was an STD. They said I hit you. I'm like,
What?
yeah, weirdos. You know how the weirdos are.
You want to know what I
Straight
think?
weird.
That people don't think it's crazy that people sit online and shots of other people blow their features up just so they can have sex about.
You cut in and out. Go
Can
ahead.
you
He's cutting in
hear
and
me?
out.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah. You're better now.
No, I'm just it's wild because I have allergies. I said that
And
I don't know how many
if you
times.
see your eye right now, it's not even red like that. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, people are getting strange. People are just getting really, really, really strange and they need to get lives. Like it's weird. The funny thing that what I really don't understand is that this isn't the first time someone has tried to make it seem like because I had eye irritation or because, I had allergies or whatever the case may be, that I had been in a DV situation. And you got to ask yourself,
Right.
what kind of sicko do you have to be to constantly keep trying to make something out of something that's not there? And what's the real benefit? Like what like I
Yeah.
don't I'm not sure which
Well,
weirdo it is, but
well,
saying that
somebody said that
somebody
they were clickbaiting us and left 4 different grift links in the chat. So you know who it is. Just weirdos. I'm glad we've outgrown them. You know what I'm saying? You ever have any friends that you were just like, dang, why was I even hanging with this person? This person's a dork.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, you said the
well, we
word
weren't
friend.
hanging with them, but I'm just saying.
I wouldn't have called I
Yeah,
can't call any of those people friends in any way.
I'm not calling them friends. I'm just saying friends because I have an only friend shirt on. That's why.
Oh my goodness.
Um, but no, what I'm saying is not that we were friends with them, but just how everybody that we are dealing with and everybody in our family, they've outgrown that whole sector. I'll say.
Well, I mean, I would hope so because the truth is it's they're all liars.
Yeah.
It's funny, one of those weirdos was over there talking about um I was sending inappropriate pictures or whatever to someone underage, and if they like, it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me, like the level of desperation um with the slander, you know, it's just wild. It's wild, but hey, you know what?
Well, I think you and I need to talk about this later in the week about the slander because we got something for y'all. I'm not ready to reveal it just yet, but Jag, you know what it is, and we got something for y'all. I think everybody's gonna be just like, but I'm just getting all the information
I
because
mean, maybe, or maybe they'll just go the Candace Owens route and pretend like if they talk about it twice as much and they act really, really, really like that's gonna make it right too. I don't know. Like, I- I'm just tired. I'm tired of people paying attention to people who are just liars. Like, for real, for real. Like, I
yeah,
don't know why people pay
yeah,
attention to it. These people are liars. These people are weird, and they're attacking me, and yet they can't go toe to toe with me on anything. What's even sadder is all of these people that are saying stuff say they have receipts, but nobody ever asked them to verify where any of their information came from, what's going on.
yeah,
They haven't even bothered to check to see whether or not the people that they're calling as witnesses to say, oh, this person, you can get anyone to get online and lie on somebody. You can't. Happens all the time. But whatever.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So what's
we'll
going
circle
on?
back to that later. We'll circle back to that later. I started this live because this happened some time ago where Snoop is now facing backlash for quote unquote, well, they're saying it's homophobic slurs or homophobic statements, I'll say. So he was watching a Pixar movie that came out, I think it came out like in 2022, Lightyear, with his grandson. And there was an LGBT couple. It had a two women couple kissing. That film was actually banned in 14 countries. And his son, asks, how did she have a baby with a woman?
Mhm.
And he said it caught him off guard. And Snoop also said, I mean, he apologized since he said, my bad, I'm not perfect. And he basically, he said he didn't come here for this shit. I just came to watch a goddamn movie. So really, the topic that where I was going with it was just as far as when is a good time to like have these discussions with your kids because, well, I'll just say I think some people got things twisted and got maybe they got mad, maybe they I don't know. They'll say mad, maybe they just got a little bothered by me mentioning, my two oldest kids and how I introduced the topic of PDFers to them at like 4 and 5 years old, right? And you know, I said at that time it was important for them to understand what these type of people are. And someone said, "Oh, well, no, you're lumping in PDFs with the LGBT." No, I'm not.
Let's be very
I was
clear,
basically
very clear about
go
something.
ahead.
The LGBT community has allowed PDF to be lumped in to the community. I've spoken about, and for someone who is bisexual, for someone who is a part of the community, I have said it on several occasions. We allow a bunch of weirdos to masquerade around as someone who's a part of the community, and the community that, like, if you look at strange people in the industry who are parading and masquerading and aren't even really, any of these things that they're saying. No one in the community, no one.
Okay,
And
you're going in and out. You're going in and out. You said no,
oh,
no one in the community, and it keeps going in and out.
yeah, no, I said no one in the community really speaks up against it or speaks out or says, "Hey, no, these people aren't cool." So it's honestly, I think there's just too much. I think there's too much worrying about too many things. Like, I don't think kids should be worried about any of this stuff at all. I don't think they should have to be
That,
worried about any of this stuff at
It,
all. Like even in the
it happens.
heterosexual world, the heterosexual dominated world that we grew up in as Gen Xers, we weren't talking about what people were doing in their bedrooms when we were 5 and 6 and 7 years old. We weren't.
Right. I was just talking about that. I was talking about that. And then I said this. I said, so is okay, so you know that there's, LGBT. See, my thing is this. It's not like I'm like Bill Clinton. Remember back in the Bill Clinton days when during the army they say, don't ask, don't tell, right? I'm not like that, but I'm like, yo, that's style. If that's what you do with other people, adults, that's fine. And I said, it's not easy. You're not easily identifiable as someone who's LGBT. I'm black. You can easily identify me as so-called black, right? I don't classify myself as black, but you know what I'm saying as far as the
Yeah.
race category, right? So now, when you're dealing with individuals who are married in a certain lifestyle, let's just say swingers, right? When's a good time to talk to the kids about swinging? Or is it ever a good time to talk about
I
swinging?
honestly,
You get what I'm
I
saying?
think we should. In the in the middle of the SCX revolution, I think all of us forgot about modesty to a certain point. I don't know. I mean, I think the conversation should be, why does everyone have to know what everyone is doing in everyone's bedroom? Why does everyone have to know what kind of relationship you have? Why does everyone have to know? You know, I don't think it's anybody's business. If you have a like, but to put this stuff in kids' films, I think it's divisive. Um, and I think it opens the door for way too much. Children's imaginations are overwhelming. They are overwhelming. And the second that you introduce something into a child's mind, their mind is going to go wild with it. It's irresponsible, in my opinion,
Yeah.
to be introducing these kinds of things. And the truth is, you know, Snoop Snoop saying what he said is no different than that white woman who's about to be faced with all of these charges, who called a black autistic child, um, you know, a a ninja with a hard ER in public over an applesauce packet, and then went online and collected $1 million and still ain't got no
Wow.
lawyer. And still ain't got no lawyer.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of outrageous things that come out of a lot of people's mouths. I just think if that's how Snoop feels about it, then that's how he feels about it. As an American citizen, he has every right to feel however he wants to feel, right? Just like everyone else. So, are we
Yeah.
making a big deal about it because it's a big deal? Are we making a big deal about it because Snoop is breaking the code? Because, the truth is, most of the music industry is pushing the homosexual agenda very heavy,
Mm-hmm.
very
Mm-hmm.
heavy. Uh, and
Look at little baby. Little baby.
let's just be honest, we got so-called straight guys running around in skirts and they're talking about it's a new fad. No, it's not. No, it's not. This isn't a new fad. What they're doing is they're creating a whole bunch of civil unrest in every which way possible. And I'm opting for, like what would the world be like? What would the music industry be like if they couldn't pump SEX and SEX stuff all through it? What would it be like? What would the world be like if
Well,
nobody was allowed to talk about any sexual stuff at all
well,
anymore publicly?
if they can talk about love, then hopefully that would, if the because SEX ain't love, you get what I'm saying? This is
You don't
separate.
have to talk
Then
that's what I'm saying. If you can talk about love all you want, that has nothing to
right.
do with sex. What if we said, "Hey, no more talking about sex in public. No more talking about sex online. No more flaunting sex in videos or in movies." Like, I would love to see what that conversation looks like.
Oh, and my Kia, because my Kia talked about Young Thug, said what he said in those tweets. That wasn't that wasn't real. Look it up. But I can tell you firsthand experience. Like I've seen some crazy stuff in the studio. Not that I seen some crazy stuff, kind of like what Young Thug is talking about. But I didn't see it and sit there and watch it. It's like I walked in on some shit, and it's like, yeah, he what those tweets are saying is there's some truth behind it, but Thug didn't say that. And I ain't gonna get into that Young Thug stuff because that's a whole nother conversation. All them fools are snitching. Yeah, supposedly Young Thug got something on Jay Z. We gonna see. We'll see. But that's a whole other
We
topic.
gonna
Let's
see if
get
we
back
ever
to
see. See, but this is the funny thing
if we
though.
gonna see.
This is the funny thing though. For Snoop Dogg to say what he said about what he saw in that movie is kind of hypocritical when you look at the objectification of women in his music videos, in his
I
songs,
know.
stuff
Yep.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
to a certain extent, he's got it coming because he
Well,
pushed this whole horror culture real heavy and objectifying women real heavy.
no, he pushed the pimp culture, pimp hoe culture.
Well,
And
yeah, that
then
too.
these others are pushing the whorehouse culture. That's what they're pushing. Yeah, him doing what he did in his early career, like it's certain stuff that's kind of like you just can't, I can't look away from. You know what I mean? I can't outside eye you kind of, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, nobody's perfect. And he said it, nobody's perfect. But I'll say this, I think Snoop, they're just making an example out of him, like, oh, he's outdated. He's a old black man, and it's kind of like, don't listen to them. They don't. You get what I'm saying? Like it's pulling away from you know. I don't know if
Elder
people consider Snoop
respect.
a leader, but right,
But guess
like
what?
his
They
elder
shouldn't.
respect.
You want to know why they shouldn't respect him? Because he pushed DURGSs. Because he pushed pimp culture. Like, if you're going to not respect his opinion as an elder, do it for the stuff that he's actually guilty of.
Yeah. Now you got a point. See, the thing is this. They're making an example out of him. I just don't like the fact that he's just capitulating. I brought up before you came on about the Gail King situation when he
Oh, you
called
mean he's
her.
punking out and he's bitching up and he's letting them make a
He's
fool out of him?
capitulating. Man, I don't give a damn. Like I'll apologize, but for the most part,
Do you want to know what that
I'm
proves
a
to
clear
me?
mind. I am sober. I
He
will
needs
stand. I
that
stand
check.
on what it is that. Right
No,
there it
it
is. Right
proves to me that he needs
there it
that
is.
check. It proves to me that all you have to do is threaten to cancel someone and take away their comfy, cushy lifestyle, and you can get them to go along with whatever you want to go along with. See, that's the part about this whole situation that's pissing me off. You're supposed to be Snoop Dogg. If anything, you should be standing 10 toes down on what you got going on.
Yeah.
Not bending over
Yeah.
like a butt broken plantation worker, because that's the only thing they're proving.
Well, I'll get on Snoop just for being fickle when he did the pow to the president the first time in a representation in this video, and then when the president pardoned someone he knew, he was back on his good. Oh, Trump is cool, so flip flop waffle. Like I said, I stand on what it is, and I like.
You want to
I'm
know what I
open to
find funny?
suggestions,
I
but
don't
I
know
will stand on what it is.
how many times has he talked about girl on girl action being a cool thing on his records. But you got a problem with it when the babies is around. It's just the hypocrisy.
Yeah, man. I
Most
mean,
of these rappers, most of these rappers be sitting there talking about, yeah, because I got two freaks and they doing this and they doing that, and then they gonna do me and whoop de woo and yada yada yada. And it's all good when you're being serviced, but it's not cool when your grandkid is watching. Like, it's just kind of it's cheeky, in my opinion.
I was gonna say a joke, but I'm not. Y'all know my jokes. I ain't gonna say it.
Okay, so Jen
Yeah.
Brown said she came in late and she's a little lost in the conversation. So why don't you get us caught up? Just to
Okay,
be
Jim Brown. Appreciate you, Jim Brown. We are talking about Snoop Dogg, the big boss dog, capitulating, and a little bit of hypocrisy of before Snoop. He took his he not took, but he saw his grandson and he were sitting down watching a movie, Lightyear, and it raised some questions. The kids were wondering because they saw his grandson saw um, a female couple, a gay couple, lesbian couple, and they had a baby. And his grandson asked Grandpa Snoop, "Hey, how does she have a baby with a woman?" And Snoop's like, "I came to watch a damn movie. I ain't come for this shit." And Snoop was just perplexed basically and was just like, I don't know how to explain this. And he apologized and said, I guess what he said was taken out of context. But the topic is really just about like how do you introduce certain topics to your kids. Me myself, I say, man, let your kids be kids for as long as possible. I'm old school. Get them a little responsibility. As they get older, give them a little bit more responsibility. And nowadays, these kids that are like 18, 19, they're really like 12 and 13 because of the pandemic and stuff like that. And they don't even know how to be like adults. So it's kind of like you got to give them grace. And then you also got to take in consideration consumption diet because depending on what it is that you watch, like my kids, my older kids, they were like into some goofy stuff. Like I got footage of them just doing goofy stuff, the little TikTok dances, whatever those dances are. And it was an innocent time then, but now, like that video I told you, Jag, of these little girls there were three little girls. They had to been about four, three or four, doing all types of ratchet stuff out the car, doing this, throwing up middle finger, acting like Gorilla and her friends were acting in "Fuck Nigga Free" video, and these were little kids, and someone video clown, and they I believe the children are our future. Under them doing all that, they were throwing up gang signs, they were throwing up middle fingers, and these were 3 or 4 year old kids. It's like, have y'all saw that? Have any of y'all saw that? It went viral like this week. People were like tripping out, and I was just like, and these cute little black babies. It's just like,
You want to know what's sad? It doesn't matter how cute they look. There's nothing cute about the way they are. That's terrible.
not at all,
It's
not at
terrible.
all.
It's embarrassing. And you want to know what's embarrassing? It wasn't white kids. It wasn't Asian kids. It was black kids. It was done intentionally. So people will see us that way. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired of all of the propaganda. You know, um, at the end of the day, sex education in school, that was something that was taught in high school, and it was to prepare people for, knowing how to protect yourself or whatever the case may be. And now in middle school, they're teaching, anal care and how to use, yeah, it's, we got way too much going on in the world. We got way too much going on in the world.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I appreciate the most about something that you had said was there was a young person, and you were like, you sitting here worrying about how you sexually identify, and you don't even know your schoolwork. You know, like, you're focused on the wrong things. And you know, the conversation. Everybody, see, and for me, the problem that I have is expecting any common sense from any of these rappers. Expecting, like, I think the biggest problem that I'm having with this whole Snoop conversation is that anybody takes him seriously as a role model.
Yeah, well,
Like,
yeah.
for real. Like,
Yeah.
what is the point in taking that man seriously as a role model? Like, I got more question about which one of his children decided it was cool to let they get high daddy hang out with their kid and
Come on now,
impart his
that's their
wisdom.
daddy. That's their daddy. Come on.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. I got
That,
family members. I had older family members that I would never let my children, when they were younger, spend time around. Want to know why? Cause I knew that they was fools. Cause I knew that they was nuts. Cause I knew that they ain't had no common sense. And guess what? I didn't want my child influenced by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we got a lot of other things that we should be worried about. You know, and it's
appreciate
just
you, ACG. 2 months as a West Side. Thank you.
amen. No, but I mean, I don't know. For me, I think
Thank you.
I think the whole idea of, you know, pushing out agendas in kids movies is too much. I think
Thank
children's
you,
movies
ABC.
should be children's movies. I don't think
Thank
children
you,
should
B.
be worried about where babies come from, whether it be a test tube or whether it be a man or a woman. I think there's so many other
Well,
important valuable lessons that can be taught in children's movies other than
do
this
do
stuff.
we really want to see? I'm gonna go way left with this conversation because you said test tubes and things like that. This generation of kids are the first people ever on this planet that will make the decision if they want to live forever, because we have the technology to where humans can live forever. I think they did a study to say that the human body really can only last almost 120 years, blah blah blah, or whatever, because you're dealing with like polymers and things of that nature. But is the only generation, well, to live forever. Engineered people. So race and racism and all done. White terror domination, it's done. So it don't matter. What's going to happen is, and let me see if I even have that photo here of the.
I was done
Give me
when
one
I
second.
seen the robot carrying the
That's
baby.
what I got. That's what I'm finna pull. Hold on. That's what I was finna pull up. That's exactly what I was gonna pull up. Give me
No,
one
the truth
second.
is
I
anybody
hope
that's
I have it
subscribing
here.
to any of that crap is subscribing to demon time,
No, I don't
because
have
that's
it
not what God
here.
intended.
No, well, that's a whole, like I said, that's a whole nother combo. I don't have it here. Damn it. But yeah, I had the topic that I did want to talk about with the robots having the babies. And that's not science fiction now, it's actual reality, because people can actually, it's doable now. So, yeah, yeah, damn, I don't have it. But nonetheless,
It's
because
artificial life. It's artificial life. What they're doing is they're
what was it? You got
making
a
being a
pen?
human being uncool. That's what they're doing. They're making being a human being
Mm-hmm.
uncool, and now they're saying, hey, you need to upgrade yourself. You need to be better. You can live longer. You can have this. You can have that. You can do this. You can do that. Whoop de whoop de woo.
No,
And
that's the reality. That's the reality that our kids will have to face. I told mom, I said, because I had a dream that they brought me back to life or something, and I was like already on the other side, and I looked at them. I said, I told y'all not to bring me back, right? That was a long time ago. So I told them, I'm like, if there's ever that opportunity, I'm good. I'm not trying to come back here. You get what I'm saying? So these kids will have the ability to possibly live forever. But I don't believe in that, and that's not for God's design. You get what I'm saying?
It's
But that's a
demonic.
real thing, y'all. Like that's the type of stuff that we should be having conversations with these kids about. I do believe in having a long life. Like I think in the Bible, you had people that lived hundreds of years, thousands of years, right? But yeah, I don't think it's like a forever thing. Yeah, and that's something I'm glad. Like I said, I call myself a Gnostic, but not like a Gnostic like how people think. You get what I'm saying? So I study all theology. I study all that, and I enjoy it. All of an element of God, and I don't think like this is the last stop. I don't think this for some people this is the last stop, but I don't think for me this is the last stop. So I'm gonna move on. So, but that's the type of conversations we should be having with the children. And there will be a split in humanity with natural people who are born naturally and people that are somewhat
Transhuman.
cyborgs. That's going to be transhumanism. That's a reality. That's why you have the terms that you have right now, binary and non-binary. What do you think they're talking about? They're not talking about sexuality.
They're preparing the world for rejecting actual mortality for
Yeah,
something else. And
yeah,
it's wild because the thing is when you look at all of these sexual conversations, it really is desensitizing and dehumanizing people so that they won't see themselves as traditional people. So as they bring in these different things, it's easier to induce these mindsets. Like, I don't think people realize there's a much, much, much stronger agenda behind all of this stuff. And that's why I say, what would happen if we take the sexual out of it completely? Let's stop talking about it. See, the second that you take that out, it forces you to get back into your humanity, your full humanity. And that's what they want people to go away from. That's what they want people to get away from. You
yeah.
know, it's like Snoop. I think all of these people put just a little bit too much stock and too much. They take too many of these people seriously that they really shouldn't take seriously at all. We're fools for making we're fools for making we're fools for making these celebrities role models in any way. We're fools for taking them seriously. We're fools for letting them influence. Like the simple fact that that's a job out here to be an influencer. Do people not realize how dangerous that is?
Hmm.
Because what it's saying is that you've given this person the ability to influence how you think, to influence what you like, to influence what you buy, where you go. Like, yo, what you're saying is that you're agreeing with being programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people wonder why they didn't want me around, and people wonder why I got blackballed, and people wonder why this and wonder why that, because in an influencer world, there's no room for individuality.
Not at all. You have to conform. You gotta, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like in all
And
honesty,
guess what? And guess what? That brings us right back to it, because that's exactly what Snoop did. He conformed.
yeah, he did. He did. He, like I said, he's not gonna stand on business because he doesn't want to interfere with his paper. Number one, and then number two, yeah, they got something on him, obviously.
They know how to pull his chain and they know how to make him dance on a string.
Yeah, yeah. Look, we gonna wrap this up in a minute. Go about 10 more minutes, but for the most part, Jag, um, you got where I was coming from with this conversation. It's not really about. I put Snoop and I said, why is he capitulating? And I don't like it, not because of Snoop, but I'm just saying as far as um, basically certain people in media are representations, and you could put the representation of Snoop as like my generation. So it's looking like they're kind of like, oh yeah, is this? You see this out of date thinking? It's almost like an old computer. If you guys remember, before the phones were really the thing, you had desktop computers, and if you had an old like 386 with Windows 95 on it, and this new one comes out and it's got Windows XP and it's a 486 whatever, and it's the newest computer. You look at this old 386, oh, this thing is slow. It don't work. I ain't finna work with it. That's how they're doing our generation of men. It's like we're old, outdated computers. Y'all feel me? Jim
Hey,
Jim Brown, you
listen
see the
to me.
troll? Let me see. Thanks. I got you. Good looking out, cat. I ain't even paying no
Oh,
mind.
wow.
Trevor Green. Guess what, buddy?
Wow.
Guess what, buddy? I'm gonna tell you this because I know you're listening. You're gonna be looking at some charges real soon. That's all I gotta say. All right, let's get on with the conversation. Let's get on with because the thing is, see, that's funny. The whole thing with stalking and harassing people online. Oh man, that's a whole nother can of worms you done opened up. You one of them accounts that are like think you're cloaked, but you're not, and we know what's up. So yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to the trolls because I was like, let me get my stroll on, get my
You want to know
my
what's funny?
exercise
I
on.
didn't see it.
Well, because we got them blocked. Me and you personally probably got them blocked, but thank you, Kat, for handling that. And
That's
yeah, he's supposed to be
wild.
hidden from the channel though. That's the thing. He's supposed to be hidden from the channel. That's weird. But yeah. Back to what I was saying, and I done forgot what I was saying. Can y'all help me? Uh, yeah, exactly. They like to derail the conversation because they're weirdos. Um, yeah, but it's really yeah, like they're looking at certain people are being outdated with the robots, the birthing robots. Then women will be pretty much outdated, and that's why I said it's very dangerous. That's why they're going after like the Nick Fuentes and they went after the Kevin Samuels and the
The
Andrew
simple
Tate.
fact that there are transgender people running around calling women, actual women who were born women, birthing people,
Birthing people.
that's wild.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. That's
It's
disrespectful to the
beyond
feminine energy.
disrespectful. Yeah.
Because feminine energy is that's feminine energy. And see, I don't want to get into to it because when you start talking about all this other stuff, you neglect to talk about one of the laws of the universe, the law of what gender, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just, there's so many. We've gotten to the point where and this is what I've said about all of these different labels. The more labels that we have, the more divided we become, and the further away from humanity we get. When we had less labels, we didn't have this kind of division. We didn't have this kind of disrespect.
No, we
If you
didn't.
choose that you want to live as a woman and you want to become a woman and you want to do all of that, that's fine. But that doesn't give you the right to disrespect people who actually are. It doesn't. And more importantly, you shouldn't want to. If you want to be that thing so bad, it seems like you would actually have some real respect for it. It's like studs. Studs run around talking about how terrible men are and how awful men are. But the truth is most studs that I know emulate the worst men that they know, but they're women. It's weird. They talk about how terrible men are, how awful men are. They're so much better than men. But most of the studs that I know are mentally abusive to their partners. And a good share of them, um, they're DV, all of that. And they say, yeah, 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 it's the man in me. It's the man. There is no man in you except for the man that you were sleeping with before you decided you wanted to become one.
Well, most studs, I think they be having a hankering for some eggplant. I don't want to go there. Never mind. I'm
The
sorry.
thing, no,
Let
no,
me
the
leave
thing
that
that,
alone.
no, the thing
Let me
that
let me
you,
stop.
no, no, my thing is this. You want to sit there and you want to pretend to be something and you want to disrespect that thing to make it more you when the truth is you're acting just like it, if not worse. Like, I hate the fact that a good share of these studs are honestly they're con artists. They're con artists.
They're cock artists. Let me stop. Let me stop trolling.
It's what not for real. It's wild. It's wild. There is so much disrespect, just disrespect between the genders, between the races, just with people. Um, ageism, sexuism, all of the isms. It's out of control. My goodness, so I don't know. I think you struck a nerve with me tonight with this one because it's like, who gives a shit what Snoop says? Who cares? And why would anybody ask him anyway? Why would anybody take him seriously? But if he's gonna sit up here and pretend to be the big homie and the big gangster, can you at least stand on something? Absolutely. The more labels we have, the more division there is. Period. Look at the LGBTQIA plus community. How many more letters before it beats the alphabet? And guess what? The more letters, there's more divisiveness in the
You got
alternative lifestyle world than
y'all.
ever.
Y'all gonna have to start adding numbers and shit. The LGBTQIA 6589.
Like, it's ridiculous. But see, if you take all of the labels and you get rid of all of the labels and you get rid of all of the influence and you get rid of all of the this and the that, and you just break it down to people, human, there's about to become a moment in the future where y'all gonna wish you was only just dealing with humans.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna leave it on. One of the is it Sam Altman? Who? Okay, he came up with. He invented a device. It's a patent for it, where it's like an orb that it can if if you stand in front of it, it will determine if you're human or not. Like it looks into your eyes, it looks into the retina and stuff like that. It, it, it's a real device. This is not. I'm not making this up. This is not science fiction, and this is not lies. I just don't have the article in front of me to present to you guys.
You
But
want to
no,
know
he
the
has
sad thing
he
about
has
it?
a device
Why would you need to create a device to be able to tell the difference between what is human and what is not if we didn't
because
already have simulated robots running around pretending to be human now?
exactly, exactly. That's exactly why. That's what I'm saying. It's just not so widespread.
What
It's just not
happens
as
when you go out
widespread.
on a hot date and your date literally breaks down in the middle of coitus?
That
What
happens all the
happens when
time.
What happens when your date starts glitching in the middle of an orgasm? Like, who wants
Oh,
these kind of problems?
that's a Tuesday for me. I mean,
Lord have mercy.
you know what's even weird? I'm glad you said that, and I'm not tying it into this, but I'm thinking about the conversation that we had about how when we were little kids and we were programmed about certain stuff because we pretty much didn't have the internet. We had TV, we had television shows. That's why they called it programming. But remember that show, Small Wonder?
Yeah,
Don't did wasn't it weird? You got an old man that made a robot, a little girl robot. Like, isn't
yeah,
that weird?
yeah. They
Like
were
that. I
preparing
mean, no,
us.
no. But that's weird. He could have made her even a teenager or a young adult. He made a little girl.
Yeah, that could never grow up.
Man, oh man, y'all
I
remember? I
mean,
know
that
y'all
ain't no
remember that.
different than the cartoons with Underdog. Everybody remembers Underdog, and Underdog was running around doing all kind of stuff, saving the neighborhood and saving
Off
this and
too.
saving that. And guess what? Guess
He was
what?
on too.
He had to pop that pill before he
Mm-hmm.
could do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know
I
the
don't. I
sad
don't.
thing about it, cartoons have been teaching us that humanity is screwed for decades and we're just catching on.
Well, cartoons. In all honesty, cartoons tell you the real, and that's why even piggybacking off of this subject, the cartoons that the kids watch, you got to be mindful. So
Look,
you
look,
know,
that's what got Snoop into this trouble. He was watching them cartoons.
exactly. That's what I was saying. But anyway, y'all, I said 10 minutes. Like, y'all know I don't be like 2 hour lives and stuff like that, but I do appreciate Miss Jaguar to stopping in and giving her commentary, and it's factual. You know,
You just asked me a question. I just stopped by, to say, hey,
we appreciate the likes. We appreciate the people in here. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I will be doing a lot more on here. Y'all check out my Patreon. I'll be doing a lot more over there. I got some mini. I got a lot of micro docs that I'm going to be putting together. That's my new thing, micro docs. Set in the West. I'm gonna be promoting that all week because I will be at the Compton Film Festival. Y'all pull up. Trevor Green, pull up. I dare you.
uh,
Um, Compton Community College. We will be premiering the film Set in the West, and this will be the first premiere, not a premiere, but we're just watching it since the passing of the good Dr. Funkenstein from Uncle Jam's Army.
salute to
May he
Dr.
rest well.
Funkenstein.
That dude lived hip hop. He was hip hop. That was hip hop for real, the embodiment. So I'm glad to have known him, and yeah, we'll be honoring him there. I'll be
I'm glad you were
pouring.
able to memorialize so much of his journey because the truth is, he's a
No one
relic
else
from
would have
a
done it,
whole nother time.
and no one else would have done it. No one else would have done it. But yeah, y'all check out the Patreon. I do have the merch. I got my merch up. I got my Set in the West hoodies, and well, not the hoodies yet, but the hoodies are there. They'll be up this week, and then I got the shirts, and I got DVDs. We talking about relics. If you want a hoodie, if you get a hoodie, I'll shoot you a DVD. And trust me, these DVDs are gonna be worth something in the future. And I got Blu-rays, so you know. But y'all rock me on the Patreon because I'm gonna be over
Set
there.
in the West
We're gonna be dropping a lot of
document
games.
Set in the West documentary is a time capsule for those who really appreciate and love the culture. It really is.
It is. It is. Yeah, please appreciate the likes on the way out. Subscribe. I'm trying to get to my 11K all day, every day. And y'all enjoy y'all Labor Day. Rest of y'all Labor Day. It's probably Labor Day done is done. But September is it's gonna be a massive month. We about to really get it in. So y'all stay tuned. Jag, what you got coming up?
I don't know, but I think you should stay tuned. I think we need to talk about whatever is going on though. Um, because what I'm not liking is all of just the defamation and the slander that's happening on this app. I'm just not liking it. I'm not liking it for me. I'm not liking it for you, and I'm not liking it for the community. I don't like the fact that our people are put in positions to where they have to like defend our character when our character should be clear. Um and it should be obvious. Uh you know, it's one thing to hate on people, but it's another thing to wish terrible stuff on terrible stuff. And, our personal business is our personal business. But the one thing that I will say is I'm offended by it because that's not who you are. And you have never put your hands on me disrespectfully or in anger in any way. It's not who you are.
Oh no,
Um,
no, they're trying to build a, they're trying to create a narrative, and you already know I'm on top of that. I've already,
No, but
yeah.
it's super disrespectful because the truth is there's plenty of people on this app who do that stuff for real. Y'all need to put those monikers on the people that deserve it. It's funny. People are running around trying to make a big deal about me and I'm running and I'm hiding. Not true. Not at all. Not in any way. But that person does have a background. Why don't you go and y'all actually research the people who you use to try to hurt someone else? It's like that's the sad part about it when I see how many people on this app are willing to defend actual predators, willing to defend actual abusers, willing to defend real scumbags to try to come against people that are better than them, that have better
Now,
morals than them, that have better
now
character than them. It's disgusting.
they gonna make me really pull out my investigative side like no other. I've just been dealing with a bunch of personal stuff, but this will be done. And when I take the gloves off, and y'all really gonna get the fangs because I'm not gonna say who this person is, nor will I say who the attorney is. But if I was to go grab an actual worker who was subjugated by this individual, I wonder how um, the narrative will change. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I know so many people in the industry, and this guy, they everybody know this guy is a piece of work. Everybody know he's a scumbag. Everybody know, but don't nobody want to say nothing. And but I'm gonna just lay it all out. I'll break it down later. But
You want
yeah,
to know
I
what's
think that's
really
what I'm about to
funny?
do.
You want to know what's really funny though? The only reason they're worried about this is because the first lawsuit that they tried to throw on my head, they got busted for. Why does nobody want to talk about the Ashley Parham lawsuit anymore?
Hmm.
No,
They look dumb as shit.
no, no, no,
They
no,
look
no. I
dumb.
think I think maybe I really just need to go live about that because see, people were so busy trying to find a way to attach my name to something negative to make it seem like somebody was coming to get me or that I was the bad person, and so they were so gung-ho to do it they didn't even bother to do their due diligence. So now they want to go and they want to lean on something else. Why does nobody want to talk about the Ashley Parham lawsuit that my name was attached to? Clearly for nothing more than malicious intent. Because not only did I not do what it said, there was no way humanly possible I was even available to commit these
Right,
crimes. Like, y'all need to stop playing.
right.
Y'all need to stop playing. And maybe we just need to go and we need to grab that lawsuit and we need to do a deep dive on exactly how sick these people are, how
No,
sick
Jag,
these attorneys
Jag.
are.
I'm gonna get the attorney. I'm gonna get the Jane Doe,
Cause they
the John.
made up
I'm going
all of
in.
that. They made all of that craziness up just to try to make me look bad.
So what they don't want is you know uh, publications or entities, media organizations like TMZ to look bad because TMZ ran with all this and that. It's like if I was if the black man from Compton, LA, was to come out and just debunk all their like they're gonna they already look bad, but they keep pushing. Okay, let's go, let's go. That's all I'm saying. That if y'all want to do that, let's go. Because I'll go there. That's where I'm at. Don't think
It's
that I
funny.
won't.
If they think that that's over, if they think that that's not going to be dealt with, they're out of their minds. They tried to make a an abuser out of me. They tried to make a teleporter out of me. They tried to create a narrative. And oh my God, all of the YouTubers that were so excited to run with that story. Oh, Jaguar Wright, Jaguar Wright, Jaguar
No,
Wright,
Jack.
Jaguar Wright is
All
this, and
all I'm
Jaguar
doing,
Wright is that.
all I'm gonna do this week is just reach out to who I need to reach out to, and I'm just gonna start putting the ball in motion because maybe there needs to be a surviving Goofy. I mean, maybe I need to be Dreamhampton for this side of the game. I don't know. Maybe
You want to know what's sad? They're all sitting there worried about this lawsuit, but ain't nobody talking about the way he treated his own child who just passed away. What this man should be worried about is grieving the loss of his son rather than clout chasing me, because that's all this lawsuit is clout chasing.
it's not even cloud chasing. It's straight up lies. It's straight. Yeah.
And it's
Let me.
harassment. And it's
Well,
harassment. But this is the thing.
and they're including YouTubers. Wow. Yeah, let's do it.
Like the simple fact that they're including YouTubers in it is even wilder.
In addresses. Like to be honest, I'm gonna tell you what.
That were doxxed by YouTubers?
Right. It's if
Wow.
they want to address on you, it's not hard. If you are a real lawyer, it's not hard. But what they're doing is, yeah, we about to go in. Y'all be ready. Like I said, if y'all ready to see these micro docs, because I'm gonna do a lot of these micro docs on Set in the West Patreon. Just join for free because I'm gonna eventually I just y'all just go over there to Set in the West
Rest in
Patreon.com
peace
slash
to
Set in the
his
West.
son Nico, who passed away begging for him to show
All
up
that
in
needs
his
to be
life one more time.
all that needs to be exposed because the thing is someone's running around here like they're benevolent and this and that, and I'm not getting work
Wow.
because come on, stop it. You've been everybody in the industry know.
You want to know
So
what's
I'm
funny?
gonna put it out
He's
there.
not getting work because of me. That's a damn lie.
That's true. That's not true.
That's a damn lie. That has
That's a
nothing to
mother.
do with anything. That has nothing to do with anything. But you know what, though? Do you know whose work has been affected? Do you know whose work was affected? Jaguar Wright's work was affected by that Ashley Parham lawsuit. They made that national news. Whatever this foolishness that this goofy fool is doing, that's not national news. It's not national news at all. But it was national news when they put my name in the Ashley Parham lawsuit. They put my name in a Diddy lawsuit as someone who was working for Diddy before the
Mm.
trial, in the midst of the documentaries and all of that. Like, yeah, yeah. You want to know what's sad? To so-called be an R&B star, and the only place where you matter and you're relevant is on YouTube.
The R&B. Well,
Huh.
he's not an R&B star. He's
Goofy
let's just
McKnight.
let's
Best name I ever
the
came
R
up with.
the R&B stands for reachbacks and beatdowns. How about that?
Like the simple fact that The only place your name matters is with a bunch of weirdo stalker YouTubes who are a bunch of, essentially a bunch of nobodies. Because the truth is the people that stalk me on this app are the most irrelevant people in the world. It's wild. Some of them are so irrelevant they even know it. They won't even show their face.
Yeah,
They create avatars to fight with themselves to try to prove that there's some engagement left. Like it's just really sad.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Well,
Meanwhile,
y'all,
they're
look,
running around making AI records, making AI records, and they all sound like trash.
yeah,
Why don't
cruelty
y'all so
free.
why don't y'all send some of your AI records to Goofy McKnight? Maybe he'll find another hit.
Well, that's why we're doing cruelty free because this AI stuff got out of
Unbelievable.
control. We need to really get back to the real raw talent. On that note, what else you got to say? You done?
I ain't got nothing to say. There's nothing
Nothing,
left to say.
nothing left to
There's
say,
nothing
y'all.
left
Y'all
to
look,
talk about. Oh, 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 ooh. Yeah.
y'all. Please subscribe. Get on over to the Patreon. Just be on the lookout because I'm gonna just drop it. I'm sick of all the stuff that I'm hearing, and I'm like, oh, y'all really are falling for. Y'all really trying to push this? Okay, all right. Let me do this. Like I said, I even pointed out, hey, Ariel Mitchell has a connection to Rock Nation, and people in the backdrop know that I'm telling some real shit, and no one else is kind of picking up. Okay, all right, okay. You can if you can see the forest from the trees, y'all know what it is. But it's
I'm
about to
just
go down.
surprised that ain't nobody ran down on Ariel Mitchell and asked her why she ruined that girl's lawsuit and what kind of lawyer she is and why she put a bunch of people in that case. Like, why don't nobody ever run down on it's wild.
Well,
It's just
see
no,
the
it's
thing is,
wild how it works on the internet. People make these huge buffoon mistakes and then all you have to do is ignore it and act like it never happened and then it's just supposed to go away like the death of Angie Stone. It's wild.
mm,
It's wild.
right? Yeah, I'm gonna get down to the bottom of who was really involved in that whole Ashley Parham and why it was the why it was botched. Micro docs, y'all. The mini docs, the micro docs, they're coming. Only on set in the West, so y'all
Mm.
stay tuned.
Peace. I'm done.
Peace.